I've always said that one of the downsides about Hell's Kitchen is that given the nature of the show, it's very rare to have a surprising winner. However, at the same time, even pretty well telegraphed winners have some negatives in their run, whether it was a bad edit, some serious competition, or a combination of both. But then, there's winners who are so obvious that you can pretty much mark them as the winner before the season is even halfway done. What's going on, guys? I'm FlynnMasters, and today, we'll look at the top 5 most obvious winners in Hell's Kitchen history. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy Hell's Kitchen content like this, and with that, let's take a look at the Hell's Kitchen winners who are obvious from the get-go.
Bloody hell, here I go again.
Some honorable mentions before we start. While Danny and Dave were obvious due to how dominant they were, they had a clear opponent who could have also very well won in Paula and Kevin respectively. While someone like Latasha is arguably a top 5 winner in terms of performance, her edit was basically non-existent and she got no real winner type storyline or moments. And if this was a top 6 list, I would have Rock on it, but due to the amount of negativity he had in season 3, especially compared to Bonnie's growth arc, I feel like that just puts him out of the top 5 despite how far ahead he was of the season 3 competition. With all that said, let's get on into the top 5. At number 5 is Ryan from season 16. And yeah, the thing that puts her in the top 5 is even though she maybe wasn't as dominant as other winners or had the best edit ever, there was just simply nobody else who could have possibly won this season, maybe other than Heidi. Again, I and many other people have stated numerous times how everyone in season 16, other than the final 3 ladies, were either bad talent-wise, had a bad attitude, or a combination of both, and would never win this season. And while I know you can't blame Heather for everything that happened with Andrew, I can't imagine the show want her representing the season as its winner, not to mention she was simply far too inconsistent compared to Ryan. Again, her only real competition was Heidi, but I think most can agree that Ryan was just far and away the most talented chef this season, and had a great personal storyline as well, to make her and her daughter's life better as a single parent. It's a shame that Ryan is more so an obvious winner by default due to the cast, but there's no getting around how much of a frontrunner she was all season.
Why Hell's Kitchen?
I did this for my 4-year-old daughter. I want to show that you don't have to work at a job that you hate. You can find what you love to do.
She understands. You have to do whatever you can to succeed.
Ryan, can you speak up?
Yes, Chef.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Because I haven't got a word you're saying. Give me a question, look at you, and I hear this little mouse voice. I need to hear your voice.
Yes, Chef. Chef Ramsay's called me a quiet little mouse, and I was called that by, one of the first chefs that I worked for. It just bugs me, and it really makes me want to fight back, which is what he wants. Walking with 2 strips, Chef.
Ryan.
Yes, Chef.
Nicely cooked.
Thank you, Chef. I've been consistent through this whole competition. I've been consistent in services and challenges. I want to keep going. I have more to give. This is everything to me.
Ryan.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Chef.
Unbelievable.
Great
job.
Thank you.
Good job.
In any other season, this chef wouldn't be an obvious winner given their edit, but due to the circumstances, at number 4, I have Ariel Fox, the winner of Hell's Kitchen Rookies vs. Veterans. And let's just be frank here, the veterans always had an advantage over the rookies, as if you can make 2 great runs in Hell's Kitchen, it's just going to be so hard for any rookie to outdo that no matter how dominant they are. And speaking of, by the end game, her biggest rookie competitors were Kanae, who would get screwed out of a black jacket, Mata who quit, and thus, Ariel's final 2 competitor would be the very inconsistent Mia. And as the veterans go, arguably the biggest threats coming into the season were the runner-ups of T, Kevin, and Heather, and 2 of them would be gone within the first third of the season, while the other one stumbled her way into a black jacket. And while other returnees like Brett had good runs, nobody was stopping Ariel this season, as not only did her edit really pick up around the mid-portion of the season, but she was just simply so dominant all season, which would essentially force Ramsay to give her the win. And hey, while she didn't get any true storylines this season, I think a general feel-good storyline is a chef who would unfortunately be overshadowed by 2 of the greatest chefs of all time her first season, would absolutely shine 10 years later, and have one of the most dominant and obvious wins in Hell's Kitchen history.
What's the reason for coming back?
I have been pushing myself like you wouldn't believe for the last 10 years. I know that I have everything that it takes this time around to win Hell's Kitchen. I'm a boss now, and I'm in this to win.
I have been to Hell's Kitchen twice and made it out alive. And not only alive, but I made it out a winner. This job is made for me. I am the person who says every single day when I go to bed, how am I going to be better than I was yesterday?
That was really fun competing with you. Congratulations, you deserve it.
At number 3 is the winner of season 2, Heather West. And yeah, if you've watched my Heather West video, you would know firsthand just how obvious of a winner she was, as not only was she miles ahead of the competition, with Keith being her only true competitor, but she had multiple storylines to get the audience behind her. Remember, season 2 was the first men versus women season, and after Michael won the first season, and in general male chefs are more so the cliche, at least when it comes to line cooking, the women this season had something to prove, and this was amplified when Garrett mocked them when they won reward, which proved the stereotype a lot of people had about female chefs.
Y'all women have dinner ready for us men when we get home from work.
Garrett turns and says, cook our dinner like women should. And that just completely struck a chord with me.
Keep talking, tough guys.
I'm not your wife. I'm not your girlfriend.
I'm not either.
Like that.
No.
And not only that, but Heather's relationships were highlighted throughout the season, such as bonding with the Blue Team members after the switch despite the comments they made, and of course being best friends with Rachel and opposing Sarah, with Rachel being another fan favorite, while Sarah was the main villain of the season. And speaking of the switch, in season 1, the only person to switch teams was Michael, and thus, Ramsey showed the audience that he was eyeing Heather the most out of everyone without actually saying it. So between her dominance and no other chef this season really standing a chance, and some classic winner-edited storylines, Heather is truly an early season blueprint of an obvious Hell's Kitchen winner.
How big a brigade?
12 below. And
12 guys?
Yes, sir.
Being a woman in the kitchen, you gotta hold your own. It's not hun, it's not honey, it's Heather.
You see what happened?
Yes, chef.
We have a serious burn. Do you understand?
Yes, chef.
Hand in there.
Quail in the oven, Marianne? 2 extra quails, not orders, just extra quails?
While standing there in pain, you were delegating your section to your team. I've never seen that in 21 years of cooking. Very impressive.
Thank you.
That was crossing the line to me. And you know what? I'm gonna throw the woman card out.
That don't make a damn bit of difference to me.
You gotta understand, we have to work twice as hard as you. So I really gotta step up tonight. I really gotta step up tonight. Coming down.
Heather,
Yes,
Heather,
chef.
this is amazing. Those Wellingtons are cooked perfect. This is the best start we've ever had in Hell's Kitchen. Let's go, Heather, yes?
Yes, chef!
I know a lot of people disagree with me here, as many think this chef should be number 1, but at number 2, I have Megan. And yeah, there's no other way around it. Megan is the best chef of all time. Literally, even the most casual fan could have seen her win coming a mile away. And not only that, but she also got plenty of personal content about growing up poor and how much cooking meant to her, and she was never afraid to let her emotions show. Now, there are a couple things keeping her from being number 1, as I feel like the number 1 chef could be argued they're a favorite after their first confessional, and in general, had more winner-esque type moments and storylines, while Megan was obvious mostly due to her dominance. Also, you could argue that her win wasn't a complete lock going into the finale as it was for other chefs, as with T obviously being such a strong chef, there was a slight possibility we could have had a deja vu moment from season 9 had Megan flubbed the final service while T dominated. Although again, that was realistically never happening.
You're also a prime candidate in there to start emerging as a leader.
All right.
Okay?
Yes, when Chef pulled me aside, that solidified what I thought that I should be doing. So that made me feel confident in taking over. Okay, we'll put it over there because that's where the heat is. That looks like I'm not mean, I'm not a bully, I'm not a outside of service. I can be a complete bitch during service because I want to succeed. And you need to change your spoon water, it looks like sexy.
Megan.
All right, guys, lobster, butter, go, go, go.
The executive chef from Roanoke, Virginia, has been a frontrunner from the beginning.
Nicely cooked, Megan.
Yes, chef.
Impressing Chef Ramsey with her culinary skills. Her no-nonsense style in the kitchen
This is my space.
has demanded her teammates' respect.
Megan has a big, harsh whip.
Put it over there, because that's where the heat is. I'm a badass in the kitchen. Not many people can hang with me.
But to me, the most obvious winner in Hell's Kitchen history is Alex. I mean, the guy literally had the audience on his side after his first sentence in Hell's Kitchen, talking about how Covet shut down his restaurant. As remember, this was the first season to be filmed post-pandemic. Also, with the theme being Battle of the Ages and there never being a 40+ winner, it seemed like the season was a sign to finally break that curse, very similar to Ariel's advantage. And above all else, the dude dominated the entire competition, and while yes, the Black Jacket Brigade was a talented one, really none of them stood a chance, as Cheyenne was never winning due to her age, Summer was likely never going to overcome her slow start, and both Alejandro and Daphne have been far too inconsistent. And while I personally don't think it was intentional, remember, the 40-somethings were dominated all season by the 20-somethings, with Alex being the only 40-something to even make the Black Jackets, thus making his win all that more impressive. Again, while maybe not quite as dominating as Megan, and I think many other people pegged Alex as the winner very early on, if not after his first damn scene due to the circumstances of the season, and this would only be amplified throughout his run, and to me, he is indeed the most obvious winner in Hell's Kitchen history.
And then I opened my own restaurant in 2018.
And what happened?
COVID.
Right.
Brutal. I mean, it's... words can't...
Yeah. Well, you're here now.
I am.
The next chef earning their black jacket. Alex. Congratulations, young man.
Getting a black jacket validates everything that you've done. All the drive, the dedication, the passion. Just solidifies the fact that I'm supposed to be here.
I want you to be the best guy in there.
Hearing that feedback from them, hearing that encouragement from my boys, I can't. It's one of the happiest moments of my life.
So there you have it, guys, my picks for the most obvious winners in Hell's Kitchen history. Let me know if you would switch anyone out in the comments below, along with which winners you predicted from very early on. Be sure to subscribe and like for more fun HK content like this, and until next time, have a good one, guys.
Get out of there.